I don't know if I've established this before on the podcast, but I am not afraid of spiders, right?
Okay.
Like,
I didn't
spider
know.
comes down, I'm like, yeah, spiders don't scare me. I actually love spiders, think they're great.
I mean,
But
I would agree. They don't scare me either.
do you kill them if
No.
they're in your house?
I mean, I don't.
Good man.
I also don't like. I'm not so unafraid of them that I'll touch them or like I would not pick up
Sure.
a spider to move it outside or something. But like I don't
I
scream
would.
or avoid it or whatever if it is crawling across the desk or something. So
Sure. So, and people think it's weird that I'm totally chill with spiders, which is fine. It's whatever. But people then think I am like okay with lots of spiders, and I'm not. And so my theory is that everybody has a number of spiders that they are okay with being in the same room as. So I'm curious, what is your spider number?
I mean, that's true.
And I don't mean like in a terrarium or in like an enclosure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are just sitting in your room, how many spiders are you comfortable, like
I think-
visibly, that you can see them?
Like all at one time, if I saw more than like maybe 4 or 5 spiders at one time, I'd be like, okay, that's the amount of spiders that I can actually see. Who knows how many spiders are like underneath the bed right now or something? That would. I think it's less so that I'm scared of the spiders, or it's just the implication that there's like an infestation out
Right.
in the room with me. That's what.
It's like when I'm sure you've seen a video where somebody like breaks open some spider eggs and just a billion spiders come rushing forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm not afraid of one spider, but I am afraid of like 100 spiders all moving at the same time. That's terrifying.
It's not that I'm scared that I'm like going to be bit by them. It's more so just like
Yeah.
they're just gross. Like I don't want to imagine like there's could be multiple spiders under the sheets with me in the bed right now or something. That
I do. Wow. Wow.
new number. How many
Ooh,
spiders
yeah,
under the
sorry.
sheets with you? What's your spider number? What is your spider number?
I think visible spiders, I think like 6. If I see 6 spiders,
You're
I'm
just saying that
fine.
because it's only
If I
one
see
more than me. You just wanted to sound cooler, so you said one more than I did.
You cannot prove that in a court of law.
I
So-
know you.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is slander, libel, one of the two. I don't know. But yeah, if it's okay, maybe I'll back it down to 5 if that would make you happy.
Yeah, that makes me feel a little better. You and I are have the same spider number now.
Hello and welcome to Die on Any Hill. I'm your host Auntie with my co-host McKay,
What up?
and this is the show where we pick random topics, plant our flag in them, and kill ourselves upon these hills in ritual sacrifice to the blood god Corn. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne.
This is true. None of what he said is untrue.
None of what I said is true.
Untrue. It's all
Okay.
It's all real. It's all real.
Gotcha. All right. Do you want to flip for who goes first?
Yeah. So
Um,
heads, you go first. Tails, I go second.
Okay. Wow, Tails, you get to go second.
Okay. Nice.
So, I am kind of bringing a common theory out there about a certain act that happened in 1969 concerning astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and the other guy that nobody remembers, and I apologize, where they went to the moon. And obviously, didn't happen. That was fake. We all know this. The flag's blowing in the wind. That one, Stanley Kubrick is the guy who did it, I think.
Yeah, that's what they say.
So, I don't think it happened then. I'm not saying we haven't gone to the moon. Because what I do think is that on April 14th, 2025, one brave astronaut flew into space on the infamous Blue Origin, and the world was shocked when she came down because she is kissing the ground and celebrating the earth beneath her feet. But I think this is a sign. I think it is a sign that when Catherine Perry took her trip into space, she was launched horrifically off course and was sent to the moon and had to be rescued Apollo 11 style, or whatever movie that was with Tom Hanks.
Okay, wow. That was a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just... So originally you're saying we thought that they all... Because it wasn't just Katy Perry. It was a bunch of these astronaut ladies that went up. But you're saying that she was in her own separate little pod, like flying alongside the rest of the legitimate astronauts. And her pod accidentally got straight off from the group.
I'm not going to say I know the logistics of it. I'm not a scientist. But my current theory...
Are you saying just her by herself got astray from everyone else?
Yeah, so my theory is that at some point on the trip, Katy Perry, obviously due to her horrible IBS, I can't make that claim, had to go to the restroom. Unfortunately, when she went to the restroom and was relieving herself, an asteroid hit the rocket, which unfortunately broke off just the bathroom portion of the ship, which was then sent
just a totally clean break.
Space. Yes.
Yep.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And yes, and so Katy Perry in the loo was sent hurtling through space towards the moon. Obviously, she did land on the moon.
Okay. Did she even realize what was happening this whole time? Or did she like open up the door and was she like did she just open up the door and was like, "Oh crap, I'm on the moon now"?
I mean, yeah. You ever have one of those? You ever have a poop so bad you got to take your shirt off?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It was one of those.
Hers was so bad she ended up on the moon.
Yes.
when she was done. I've never had one quite that bad.
It was the combination of her gaseous excretions and the asteroid hitting the rocket.
Okay.
Yep,
so,
I will be taking further questions if you have any.
And so we've deduced all this from a single action of her kissing the ground when she came back.
I think it's a reasonable assumption.
Okay. And so how does this relate to the original moon landing being faked? Are you saying that she's the first person to have been on the moon?
Yes. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the moon landing didn't happen in 1969. That was obviously faked.
Right.
We all know this. Everybody knows this is a fact. But I do think the moon landing did happen in 2025 when Katy Perry hit the moon.
And there's no other reason that she would feel so relieved to be on Earth and kiss the ground than she had been on the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I
do
agree that no other of the supposed astronauts that went there kissed the ground, and maybe they did. I don't know. Let me go. Gemini.
Gemini, come here, Gemini.
How many astronauts kissed the ground when they came back from the moon? Based on information available, there is no evidence to suggest that any of the 12 astronauts who walked on the moon kissed the ground upon their return.
I have been vindicated.
Yep, Katy Perry.
Because of the shoddy design of the Blue Origin ship. I'm doing a lot of slander in this episode. This is fine.
You're really talking down the whole NASA industry.
That wasn't NASA. That was Amazon, wasn't it?
Or yeah, okay, no, yeah, you're right. But you're saying that the entirety of what NASA had done up until then is also fake. So really,
Correct.
the entire space travel industry is just catching a lot of strays today.
And I'm okay with that. Speaking of just the Blue Origin, would you, if you had the money, would you take a trip into space like that? Because did they even actually get to space?
Yeah, they were in space.
Okay.
I think they were only up there for they were up there for a very short time. They were up there for 10 or 20 minutes or something. Would I do it?
Yeah, and
I mean, yeah.
That was the impressive part
sure.
about this whole thing.
If I had a disposable $1 million, it's probably even more than $1 million. I have no clue what it takes to travel to space. Probably, well, I don't know, maybe less than that. But
Gemini, come here, Gemini.
This is not gonna be that crazy in 20 years or so. I feel like it's not gonna be that crazy for the upper crust of society to regularly take space trips, just as a novelty thing.
On Virgin Galactic, also Gemini was no help. I actually had to scroll down. Virgin Galactic, a ticket cost around $450,000.
So that is cheaper than $1 million. So
it is cheaper than $1 million.
If I had to spare $1 million, I could afford 2 of those trips. So, I mean, yes, I would. I would not ever do what the sub that imploded 2 years ago. Even if the bottom of the ocean is kind of terrifying to me. Space would be worth it. Space, at least you get to see the Earth. You get the experience of zero gravity. I'm not gonna risk being crushed to float around in a bottomless void with sea monsters.
You're right. You'll risk being frozen to death in an endless void. God knows what out there.
There's nothing out there. I think nothing that
you
we
don't
would
believe
at
in
least...
aliens.
Okay, well, not that we would encounter. Maybe in another
what about
galaxy,
Katy
another
Perry's
solar system.
E.T., which is clearly recounting her experience when she went to the moon, which was given to her in a prophetic vision when she wrote that song.
I don't even know what E.T. is. Is that I guess I've heard that's a song, but I don't even know what it says.
It's not a good song.
Let me look up these lyrics. You're saying this is a real...
I just looked them up. They're not good. They're so bad.
Oh gosh, I don't even want to.
I will say, I do think I put aliens in the same the same camp as kind of ghosts to me, where it's it's fun to believe in them. I don't really have a reason not to, so why not?
I don't. I do. I kind of. I don't. I mean, yeah. Wouldn't say that I believe in them, but I would not be surprised if there's alien life out there. But I don't necessarily believe that there's other sentient beings like us, beings that have moral standards, or I could see there being animals or something, intelligent animals out there, but I don't think there's a being that would be smart enough to create its own spaceship or space travel, or has the same kind of emotions or morals as people do.
I mean, obviously it'd be different than humans, but
I get it would be. I don't know. I guess it depends on how you define sentient. Aware, self-aware, maybe is the right way to say it.
I
I
mean,
don't know if they're
sentient enough to
self-aware.
build,
Wait, what'd you say?
sentient enough to build spaceships.
I do not think there's aliens flying around on spaceships. Yeah. I think that's where the line is drawn for me. I don't necessarily, I would not be surprised if there's like aliens crawling around on a planet somewhere, but I don't think there are like UFOs flying around.
So have you heard of a YouTube channel called Kurzgesagt?
Mm-mm.
Okay, this is a tangent. I'm probably gonna cut this out, but they do kind of science videos. Like, so one of them is like, okay, what would happen if the Earth turned to gold? And they actually go through all the math and like explain the chemistry of what would happen.
Interesting.
But one of them they did about this theory about alien life, where basically they were saying that if there is not sentient life already out there in the stars, we need to be terrified. Because if you're, and this is all if you're coming at this from the basis of evolution,
Sure.
but the idea is that it's kind of, life takes stepping stones, where it's like life happens, then it hits a wall, and then it has to evolve to get past that wall, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And that's how apex species happened. Supposedly that's how humans happened, etc., etc. But if there is no other alien life out there, that means we as humans are either just past that wall or just before that wall. And if we're just before that wall, odds are we're going to die. And if we're just past the wall, that means we're going to be facing things that no other species has ever faced. And it's just going to be more walls. And yeah, that's just interesting.
What is the scale of these walls? As in, like, how many hundreds of years are we talking?
I mean, yeah, like hundreds upon hundreds, like ridiculous timeline.
Yeah, that was probably more like thousands, but yeah.
The video explains it a lot better than I just did. It's really interesting.
I mean, yeah. that is interesting. I don't know.
I've watched way too much Star Trek not to believe in aliens. I want them to be real.
Fair enough. I mean, we can all hope. We can all cross our fingers that they're out there somewhere.
I want to be a Starfleet officer. I'd be a bootlicker to do that.
There was some like article that I have no clue how real this was, or if it was just kind of hokum, but it was an article out about, like, we just recently discovered that we're kind of in the center of a void, like a black hole sort of deal, and that like the nothingness around Earth is not the standard. Like, outside of our like little black hole void is like, I don't know what's out there, but it's like they had something that suggested that us being in a void, like a pocket of some larger mass of something, and that, you know, this is not what the rest of space is like, the small portion around Earth or our solar system. So something to think about.
Oh, it's both terrifying and awesome, and
it's also like has zero effect on any like us.
Right.
Like there's
like,
no way in our lifetime that
things,
anything related to that could affect us, or we would see come to fruition. So.
Right. I don't know, that
But
scale is something that's always been really cool to me. Like, even aesthetically, when you have like a monster that's huge and a person that, like, I love that scale so much.
Yeah.
And like the scale of space, it's so cool.
Would you rather, like, back to that question, if you're floating aimlessly to your death, would you rather be at the bottom of the sea or in space?
Space.
Okay, yeah, agreed.
One, because
I feel like we
drowning
maybe talked about this
me.
before, but I don't know if we did.
I think the thing is, like, drowning terrifies me 100%. Like, suffocating to death in space terrifies me. That would be horrible. But are we?
You don't
okay,
even.
how does this work?
You wouldn't worry. I'm talking about this, like, a sub. Like, you wouldn't even have time to drown.
Oh,
like
for
the
sure.
the plus if you're in the sub is that it's instantaneous. Just, but it's like, you know that you're assuming that you probably have a couple days of just like aimlessly floating, knowing that you're never going to get back.
I don't know, because I'm assuming we're in a spacesuit with limited oxygen, and we're just kind of waiting for the oxygen to run out, right?
Yeah.
Like, I could find a peace with that as I am floating through space.
Agreed. I think, yeah, it would be so much more peaceful to be in zero gravity looking down on Earth versus just being in, like, a metal tin thing looking at pitch black and knowing that, like, there's, like, millions of, or just tons of pressure pushing in on you. That's, like, terrifying.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's, like, it's very in character. That would be very in character death for me to just disappear into space forever. Like, yeah. That does sound like a great time. Like, I would love to go like that.
Yeah. No, there are worse ways.
It's very poetic, you know?
It's true. So would you go up into space if you had a spare $500,000?
I don't know. Because part of it, I think about the ecological impact of that, because it's really bad. And I don't know if I could get past that. If I could be like, yes, this is a once-in-a-lifetime incredible experience that I would love to take. I don't know if I can justify it in my head for adding that much to what the damage we've already done, you know?
True. I mean, it's one thing if you're going up there to do research, but just to go up and float around for 10 minutes and come back and kiss the ground. Yeah.
I think all the people on like the ISS, those people are awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Should we switch on over? So
let's do it.
Here's my thought in regards to the moon. I think we have a perfectly good garbage dump up there floating around the Earth. I think we're so concerned about the amount of space that landfills are taking up here and the damage that it's doing to the Earth when we have the moon where we can put all of our garbage. It's not going to decompose. It's not going to like cause an ecological disaster. I mean, coming off the conversation where we just said how much of an ecological impact it is to fly things to the moon. But the garbage, we're only talking about the garbage itself. That is not going to have an ecological impact on the moon like it would on Earth. Like there's no way for it to decompose and break stuff down. And you know, maybe it's not reasonable to do right now, but I feel like that's got to be the obvious direction that landfills go in like 50 years. You know, maybe that's part of the thing once like rich people have like regular trips to go to the moon or something just for like a fun vacation. They're with the trash. They're with like the trash. There's like the trash is like below deck. They're at the top. It's like a double duty mission. The rich have some fun. We load off the trash.
What it's gonna be is it's like there's gonna be resorts in space, right? Like space station resorts. And if you're rich, you can take the trip up there for like $500,000, or if you're poor for like $10,000. It still wouldn't be cheap. Don't get me wrong. You'd have to take out a loan. You can go to the landfill. The one problem is that how they launch the trash, they actually do physically launch it onto the moon, so you're kind of stuck on the moon. They don't land there.
You're just in a pod that just
yep.
You're just from like a giant catapult on Earth. They pull back and launch out. And then you just gotta wait for or is there like another catapult on the moon?
No.
Oh no. Okay. All right.
No, it's a one-way trip, yeah.
Also, another thing is that
this.
No, you're good. The trash doesn't decompose, and so it's like a perfect time capsule. If we wanted, like, think how cool that would be to have like all the antiques from like the 1900s. You just have them saved somewhere in perfect mint condition, and you can just go back and bring them back. You don't have to take up space in a museum if like I don't know. I don't know. You know, we have everything preserved for the rest of the time. We don't have to worry about like perfect climate controlled little glass cubes down here on Earth.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think if we're launching all of our trash to the moon, I do think there's going to be an effect on the Earth. I don't know what it is, but
okay. Yeah. I mean, you're not thinking about that. You got to focus just on the trash itself. You can't think about the logistics of a rocket ship blasting off into space.
We are solving the waste problem. We are not solving climate change.
Yeah, we didn't make any claims to that. We're just focused on the whole waste issue. So
exactly.
You you cross that bridge when you get to it. You solve problems as they come.
I'm sorry if you said this already, but like, say you accidentally threw something away you didn't mean to. Is there a way to like get it back?
I mean, as much like, assuming by the time this is happening, people are able to regularly go to the moon, like you can pay the $10,000 to go up there and find it in a landfill. I mean, I guess the only way you accidentally get something back is like if you accidentally threw it out, you got to dig through it. Landfill here, which really not that many people do. Like, people just assume if you throw something out, it's gone. Like, I think that's the same mindset if you're launching it off to space.
Sure.
Though I guess in theory, if it was super important, you could drive to the landfill yourself and go through. But like, it's not really feasible now.
But
that
it's
you
like
would retrieve something you threw
you have
out.
to provide the transportation yourself, but you can do it. Like, it's legal.
To go to a landfill now? Or are you talking about...
to go to the moon landfill. The moonfill.
The moon. Yeah, I guess it would. It's not land on the moon. It's just the moonfill.
No, it's moon. Obviously.
Wait, sorry, what'd you say? You'd have to provide the transportation. Yeah. Or if, I mean, if someone's willing to give it to you, I don't know.
Well, sure.
I mean, the government's probably not going to be... Like, if you have enough money, like, anyone will give you a ride up there. But
anyone.
Yeah.
You just get in a taxi and say, to the moon. To the moon, Jeeves. This might be going off topic a bit, and I apologize. Oh, my bad. I think that if we get to the point where, like, space travel is, like, accessible and regular, I think the moon's gonna turn into Vegas. Like, I think it would become a horrible place because no country can own the moon.
That's true. There's gonna be no laws on the moon. It's just gonna be like the Wild West up there,
right?
So,
which is gonna be
like
incredible.
the only option is they have to like have the money to have a full, like, a police force up there, which they're not. No country is gonna own the moon and pay for that. So, do we think
it's
that
be owned
I was
by
actually
private business?
Yeah, I was just listening to a podcast not that long ago. And unfortunately I don't remember any super interesting arguments from it, but it was like, who would own the moon, like, given in like 100 years or so, when frequent moon travel is a thing? Are there going to be like wars over the moon, between like you think about wars now are fought in the land that people want to contain, but what would that even look like to have a war over the moon if, like, there's no way to enforce the ownership of it when it's costs millions and millions of dollars to get to?
I think that's really interesting, especially given how technologically advanced warfare has become. Like, with drones and a lot of the stuff that most people don't even know about. Not to sound like a crazy man, but like the military does have like jets and shit you don't know about. They do.
The invisible drones.
Right.
Get into the invisible drones.
Yeah. So yeah, like, what would that warfare look like over the moon? Would it be?
I don't know.
Would it be a Cold War just because people would be like, nah? Or
I feel like there's never gonna be like a world war again. Like, I feel like the only war, I mean, obviously we're seeing wars happen right now between like these smaller countries, but I think now that like nuclear power is a thing, no one's like, there's just never going to be another world war, because everyone knows that's going to instantly be not that the moon would launch the world into a world war. I think I don't know, it would probably just be America or Russia that are in control for the moon. Those are probably the only two countries, and China. Those are like the three that would care enough to want to have the moon. But
I mean, I don't know if other countries have significant space programs. We don't really have a significant space program. We have space tourism. It is a scary thought to think that there's nobody down the line who would say, no, I'm not going to press this button. You know, like, isn't there the story about some soldier in the Cold War who was told to launch the nukes and basically just said no?
I've heard that. I don't know if that's like a real thing or not.
Right.
But I've heard that was, I've heard that story.
I hope it's a real thing. I hope when it does get to if it gets to the point where it's to a man who has to push a button, that they say no. But,
yeah,
I don't know.
I
wouldn't even know about it if it happened. It'd be too late.
Yeah, that's true. By the time, we don't ever have to worry about it, because by the time it happens, we'll already be gone.
Right.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. I guess I don't think our cities aren't anywhere near like where the first nuke strikes would happen. So we probably would have to worry about it.
Yeah. We'd have to deal with the aftermath.
How long do you think the world would last after the first nuke strike? Like before
we've had nuke strikes.
Or okay, but I mean, now that we're in the situation where, presuming one goes off, all the others launch.
Again, I hope it turns into somebody down the line saying, no, I'm not going to continue this. That's what I hope, but
that's okay. I like your optimism. And
like I said, I hope. I don't believe it'll happen, but I hope.
Yeah. You hope, just like you hope there's aliens out there. So a lot of hope in this episode.
When it comes to like the nuclear stuff, I hope, because I will have no effect on it. Period. Like, there's nothing I'm going to do in my life that's going to change whether a nuke is going to go off. Like, just being straight up.
That's true. Yeah, it's out of your control.
Maybe unless I like push a kid over, and then they grow up and to become the one who's about to push the button, and they're like, "No, for humanity, I shouldn't." And then they flash back to this old hippie guy who pushed them over as a kid, and is like, "Actually, y'all suck." Boom.
You never know. You never know the ripple effects that you have on a person. So
yeah, we've seen
that's
that.
Why you gotta, that's why you got to be nice. That's why you got to be nice to everybody. You never know if they're going to be pressing the nukes in 100 years.
Do you think?
Not 100 years.
I think it is reasonable to say to throw the trash to the moon. Like, I think not reasonable. Like it. Okay, hold on.
I love how like straight faced you said that. So of course it's reasonable to throw your trash to the moon.
With a giant catapult. Do you think that's what the moon would turn into once we get into space travel? Like significant space travel?
I think there'd be I think that would be one of the first like discussions to happen, but I think that like nuclear material is something that like people don't really feel comfortable necessarily like messing with that on Earth. It's like that's a place where you could keep nuclear materials on the moon. So like stuff like biohazardous stuff that for some reason humans want to maintain. I guess it makes sense to put it on the moon.
Yeah, we got.
But I feel like
obviously.
I feel like there would be enough backlash. Like too many people would be furious if the government started blasting garbage onto the moon. In theory, it makes sense though that like the fact that it doesn't decompose and it's just like like where else is it gonna go? That it's gonna destroy the Earth if it just if it just stays here. So I guess you just launch it further into space.
Right.
It's like space is just an empty void. Why not just launch your trash further into it?
Do you think that once we get kind of I wish I could see this on the grand scale, because I think it'd be really cool to see that, like, once humanity gets, like, say we colonize the moon, because I think in actuality we're probably going to colonize it more than anything else, or attempt to, hopefully. That'd be sick. Like, to see on, like, a wide scale how rapid that expansion becomes once we figure colonization out and get that down. Like, because technology extrapolates upon itself. The improvements upon technology.
I don't know that we'll ever I don't feel like it's realistic to colonize. Not that I don't have any, like,
too many people
knowledge or
want
research
to. That's
this.
the thing.
I do think I totally could see it becoming like a resort spot, like you said, with like casinos or whatever, and like people go up there for like a week or something. But I just don't think it's logical for like just this big barren rock with like no space for agriculture, no oxygen. Like literally everything that goes there has to have so much engineering to be possible to sit there.
Sure.
But something like Mars, where like in theory you could terraform the landscape to grow plants, and there's already somewhat of an atmosphere there. Like Mars, that I think that 100% there will be more efforts to colonize. I don't know that the moon will ever be colonized for like people to fully live full lives on. Is my thought.
I think if there's a resort up there, there will be.
I think people are going to get tired of having
If there's a resort on the moon, there will be people who are born and live their entire lives on the moon, working for the resort.
Maybe. I don't think so. But like the moon, like it feels really cool to talk about the moon in theory, but I think once you live there for like a week, you would get so tired of it. Like it's literally just a rock with no gravity. Like we kind of take it for granted how cool and varied and interesting the Earth is in comparison to a rock with no oxygen.
I mean, yeah, gravity's a whole other thing to figure out.
Yeah. The gravity would be kind of cool, but I don't know. That would be really interesting to see what the effects of like someone who's lived like most of their life, like a child who's like born on the moon, lives like till they're like 20 or something, and then comes back to Earth. Like, would that even be possible physiologically? Because you know about like how much weight you lose in space just because of the effects of gravity. Like those astronauts that were up in space for like so long, their bodies like changed because they didn't have the constant effect of gravity on them. Like, would someone who's lived like 20 years on the moon even be able to come back onto Earth, or would their body like kind of fall apart?
I think if hypothetically somebody was born on the moon and then accidentally left on the moon, they would come back with mind powers and start a sex cult.
You know, fair. Why not? It's the moon.
If you know, you know.
Is that a reference?
Oh wait, no, that was Mars, I think.
If this is a reference to something, it's beyond.
Yeah, there's a book called Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert Heinlein, who I'm pretty sure is like, is he the No, he's not the Scientology guy. He's a weird guy. But yeah, it's about a kid who
L. Ron Hubbard is the Scientology guy.
Yeah, not him.
Okay.
Same kind of realm of weird sci-fi.
Yeah, no, that.
But yeah, it was an uncomfortable book.
So wait, what's it about? It's about a guy who lives on the moon and creates a sex cult.
So it's about this kid who's born on Mars, I think. Is like left on Mars, and then he grows up on Mars, and then he comes back to Earth. And he has like mind powers, and it does end with him basically starting a sex cult. It's very strange. Yeah.
I mean, this is an interesting premise.
Initiation to the cult was to have sex with him. And it was just like, this is weird. Why did you write this? You did Starship Troopers, my guy. What is this?
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be checking that out, but
No,
I like
don't.
hearing you talk about it. So
But space is awesome. Like, it's the idea of colonizing into space and expanding into space excites me so much.
Yeah. Do you think in our lifetime we'll see it?
I can see us setting up some kind of station on the moon or something like that, or on Mars, but I don't think we'll see past that. I think we are still.
You're saying in our lifetime? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
are
yeah.
still trying to figure out reliable, efficient, and maybe we're not. Maybe they're not trying to figure out ways that we can get into space without destroying our atmosphere. But
I mean, there are people living full time on
yeah,
the space station, so
right.
I mean, it's not unheard of to live full time off planet.
Mhm.
It's more so just
Again,
I
I
don't know
think-
that there's a demand for it aside from these highly specialized astronauts.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we might have a small station on the moon. But even then, I feel like to get to that point, we would have to figure out like how, like, sustainability, like food sustainability specifically.
Yeah, you would have to. I mean, you can't grow stuff on the moon. Everything would just have to be within your little orb that you'd have
Right.
to have like a greenhouse or whatever.
And yeah, that's a whole other issue, is how to make shelter on the moon, because things hit the moon constantly.
Did you? You probably read the book, but you know that movie, The Martian. That's what this conversation is basically.
Yeah, I have actually not read it or seen the movie.
Really?
It's on my list though. Yeah.
Yo,
I've been told.
With how passionate you sound about this, you got to go watch it. It's a fun movie.
I've been told I would love it.
Like, yeah, it kind of covers all these things that we're talking about. This guy is trying to figure out how to live on Mars after being stranded there.
Sure.
That's great.
And I know there's like a lot of science and math in there, and don't get me wrong, I don't understand the science and math, but I love to see it.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty interesting movie. It was good. Go check it out.
Go check out The Martian. Go live on launch your trash to the moon and watch The Martian.
And Katy Perry is the first person to go to the moon.
Correct.
Yep, that's the summary of today.
Fantastic. We've made great progress. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, hey, leave a review, subscribe, tell somebody about it. I don't know, do all the things.
That was the sound of a rocket ship taking off to...
Oh, okay.
Yep.